Hi, Valerie here, your Italy correspondent, and I'm here to talk to you today about the cost of living. In our continuing series here at International Living, we've been bringing you updates from all of the countries on what it's really like to live here and all the practicalities. So today we're talking about what the real costs are for living here in Italy. I think it comes as a surprise to a lot of people that Italy can be very affordable. I hear it all the time. I get lots of questions by email or people that I meet at the conferences that say, I love Italy, but I couldn't possibly afford to live there. It's so expensive. And I'm living proof that that's not true. You can afford to live here in Italy on any budget, basically, because there are very affordable options around the country. Obviously, if you're going to live in Rome or Florence or Milan or Venice, it's going to cost a lot more. Like any place else in the world, any other country, the main cities, the major tourist attractions are going to cost a lot. So obviously you can live in Rome. It's a gorgeous city. I love Rome. I love to visit. I love to spend a few days there and go to the museums and the different sites, but I could never afford to live in Rome. But there are people that really love Rome and they make the sacrifice or they've got the budget to be able to do it, and that's wonderful. You can spend as much or as little as you want and still live in Italy and still have a great lifestyle here. So I just wanted to talk to you about that a little bit, because you don't have to be really, really wealthy to be able to live in Italy. As I said, I'm living proof of that. We're not wealthy. We don't have tons and tons of money. We don't have major investment accounts like millions tucked away. We don't have just unlimited funds, but we do live in Italy and we live comfortably and we like our lifestyle. It fits the way we like to live. And so I think anybody really can afford to live here. It just depends on what you want to focus on, what type of lifestyle you want to lead, where you want to be in the country. You really can find something to fit your lifestyle and your budget and still enjoy everything that Italy has to offer. So let's talk about what the affordability is. Obviously, your biggest expense is going to be housing. So whether you're buying or renting a house, that's going to be your major expense, either on a monthly basis or as your output, as your investment to buy a property. Prices here in Italy can be extremely affordable. Even in the center part of the country, you can find affordable houses to buy or to rent to fit your budget. So again, it really depends on your lifestyle and what you want to focus on and where you want to be. I paid 30,000 euro for my house. I live in the south. I live in the region of Basilicata. I know it's not a main rate on the radar for most people. It's one of those places that really captured my heart, partly because I have roots here. My grandmother came from this region. Her family is from here. I have relatives in the next town over from where I live. So my first foray here into Basilicata was to do a genealogical heritage trip. And we discovered that I had family here, and it just is one of those places that really captured us, partly because of those heartstrings that really tied us here, partly because the people are so wonderful, the landscapes are beautiful, we love the mountains, we love that we can get to the sea in about an hour. So there's sort of a real rural kind of rusticality about this place that we really like, and it is extremely affordable. So we can afford to live here, and we can afford to live here well. We love our community, and as I said, housing is extremely inexpensive when you come to a place in the south like Basilicata. So really, when people say, I can't afford to live in Italy, I say, look, you can, because I spent for my house what many people in America spend for their new cars. I think that this is just a really great trade-off. Instead of buying a new car, you can buy a house in Italy. So if you don't want to be in the far south, I totally understand that. A lot of people, most expats want to be in that central area. The biggest region that draws, obviously, expats is Tuscany. Tuscany can be very expensive. Obviously, if you're going to live in Florence, anywhere in that circle between Florence and Siena, it's going to be extremely expensive. But if you go to that peripheral area outside of those main tourist attractions, you can actually afford to even live in Tuscany. So if you go to some place like Pisa, a lot of people don't think Pisa is going to be expensive because Pisa is a tourist city. But many tourists only go and they hit that one site, which is on the edge of town, and they don't go into the city center. Pisa is actually a thriving city that's got a really noted university. It has excellent healthcare. It's one of the best cities for healthcare in Italy. And Pisa can be extremely affordable. So let's just do a comparison. I wrote some notes down to give you a little confrontation between the two. So Florence, right now, as of today, the latest updated numbers for what the sale prices are in Florence is 446 euro per square foot. So that comes out to $520 to buy a home per square foot in Florence. And rentals there would be $1.69 per square foot for a rental. So if you're looking at a 600 square foot apartment, that would be over it'd be $1,014 per month to live on average in the center of Florence. Pisa, on the other hand, is 261 euro per square foot. For sales. So that's $305. So that's an extremely big difference. You can find rentals in Pisa, furnished rental apartments in the city center of Pisa for 600 euro a month. Between 600 and 800 euro, you're going to have a wide selection of apartments that you can rent in the center of Pisa. Pisa is very similar to Florence in terms of the ambiance. It's along the Arno River, just like Florence is. It has towers. It has a medieval atmosphere in the city center. It has some really art focused as well. You can take a train into Florence, but you're going to pay half than you would in the city of Florence. So there are options, no matter where you want to live, there's going to be options that will lower that cost of living, especially those housing prices. So Rome is another city that's extremely expensive. If we're looking at that same 600 square foot apartment in the city center of Rome, it would cost on average about $1,200 a month. If you go an hour outside of Rome to the city of Viterbo, which is a really beautiful overlooked town on a hill with medieval towers, some really beautiful atmosphere, a lot of events going on. It's a city that's friendly and welcoming, but it's still in that proximity to Rome. That same apartment would cost you $400 a month, furnished in the city center. So I think that there are options for everybody. No matter what kind of ambiance you want, no matter what kind of lifestyle you want to live, and even if you want to be in hitting distance of those cities here in Italy, you can find something that will fit your budget. A place that I really like, we talked about on a previous video, is Puglia. I like the region of Puglia. I think that there is so much to offer. I think if people are looking for a mild climate, they're looking for that authentic kind of lifestyle with friendly, active, easygoing kind of people around you with really beautiful atmosphere. The towns are unique with a lot of Greek influence in them. The food is excellent. Puglia is a really great option, especially if you want to be close to the sea, because Puglia is that heel. And so that little peninsula within the Italian peninsula is surrounded by sea. So you have the Ionian coast and you have the Adriatic coast. You're never far from the ocean, no matter where you want to be. You can get to a beach, you can take walks on the beach very easily and still have a hill town kind of atmosphere, or a really pretty, there's a lot of towns in Puglia that are flat, so if you have walking difficulties, that's a great option as well, because there's several towns that aren't on a hill. There's a lot of places that are level, that have an elegant feel to them. Lecce is one of those. Martina Franca is one of those. It has a great atmosphere, really pretty details around town. People are so friendly in Puglia, and it's very affordable. So again, in a place like this, in these towns, you can find furnished apartments to rent in the city center from 400 to 700 euro a month. So we're talking between $450 to $800 a month. You can find some nice furnished apartments. You're right in the center, you're right in the heart of everything, to walk to everything, to have your neighborhood coffee bar right outside of your door, to have a selection of restaurants that you can walk to have the activities that are going to be going on in town right there in hitting distance. and it's a very good lifestyle, and it's very affordable, as you can see. If you go to smaller towns, if you're really on a tight budget, you can still live in Italy. So you can go to the smaller towns, even in the very center. So let's talk about some places in Umbria. It's the geographic center of Italy. So that puts you right between Rome and Florence. It's a great rural hill town kind of atmosphere that I think a lot of expats look for. They really, from my own experience, talking to expats, my own taste, we come to Italy because we really like that antiquity. We really like the atmosphere of those old stone buildings and the pretty city centers that you find, those little towns that are scattered around. Umbria, it really embodies that. Those fields of sunflowers, grapevines, and olive groves, they're everywhere. The cypress-lined hills that people love in Tuscany, they're also in Umbria. And you can go to any town in Umbria and you can find rental properties at bargain prices. So you can find places in Todi or in Città delle Piave or Città di Castello, some very pretty towns in Umbria. You can find a furnished rental, again, from about $400 to $600 a month. I don't think you're going to find that in too many places in the United States. I think that the overall cost of living here in Italy is lower, even apart from the housing. So Italy really is an affordable destination that offers a high quality of life for what you get. Again, in Umbria, just to give you another comparison, I was just browsing some of the real estate listings this morning to see what's kind of currently on the market. There was 120 square meters, so that's about a 1,300 square foot townhouse. It's on 2 stories, 2 bedroom, 2 bath. It comes in a community with a swimming pool that's maintained, for sale in the very heart of Umbria, and it's on sale for 137,000 euro. So that's about $150,000. I think that your investment can go a lot farther in many, many places here in Italy. So again, whatever it is that you're looking for, you can find it here, and you can find it in an affordable manner just by looking around and kind of adjusting what it is that you want. To find that place that's perfect for your lifestyle as well as for your budget. My property taxes, again, this is something that varies by region and by town. So the cities and towns can also impose a little bit differently what their property taxes are. But the property taxes in Italy, by and large, are very, very affordable. So what we were paying in the United States for property tax was about $4,000 a year, and that was considered affordable. That was considered by most of our friends. When we lived in New Mexico, they said, wow, that's a really, other places in the United States, they were a little bit envious that our property taxes were what they considered low. Here in Italy, our property taxes last year came to 130 euro, so that's about $150 for the year. That wasn't per month. That was what we paid for the year for our property tax. So everything here is really much more affordable. Our cell phone plans, we have really great cell phone plans that even include, I think it's 300 minutes per month for international calls. So I can call to the United States and it's included in that price. We have unlimited local calling here within Italy, unlimited text messaging. We have data plan. I don't even know how much data because I've never even come close to using all the data on my plan that's included every month. And I pay 12 euro. So that's about $15 per month for my cell phone plan. Our internet, we have high-speed internet. It's DSL, and we pay, I think it's $28 per month. And we actually have just found another plan that we're getting ready to switch to because it's even lower. It would be $22 a month. And it's supposed to be faster. So that's really our main thing for switching would be to have it even a little bit faster than what we currently have, more than the price, because €5 or $5 doesn't really make a huge make or break on our budget. But I think the high-speed internet here costs probably a third of what most of my friends and family are paying in the United States. So really, again, I think the overall cost of living here, by and large across the board, we pay a lot less than we could have ever paid for our lifestyle when we were living in the US. Our grocery bill, we tend to spend maybe $300 a month on groceries. I don't skimp on the ingredients. I do like to get the quality things. I do like the prosciutto di Parma instead of just your average prosciutto that might be cured who knows where. I like to get the quality ingredients because I do cook a lot. We do splurge. We buy good local wine. We don't buy the rot gut stuff. We do go to our favorite cantina and stock up. We have kind of our house wine that we buy at this cantina. It's about an hour from us. So when we go, we buy caseloads of it just to have in we do have a rock-hewn cantina that we store our wine cellar. And so we buy cases of this locally produced wine, and it comes to like €3.20 a bottle. So less than $4 a bottle for a really quality, good wine that we use for our kind of normal table wine. We could spend less. Sometimes we do take a jug of wine and fill it up because this cantina does offer what they call vino sfuso. So that's where you take your own jug and they fill it directly from the vats. And it comes to, I think it's $1.50 or $1.60 per liter. So you can take a 5-gallon jug or 5-liter jug and fill it up for, really next to nothing. And the wine isn't bad. It's not bad at all. It's drinkable wine. But again, I just prefer to have that little splurge type of wine that costs still less than $4 a bottle. So I think that's a great deal anyway. We don't dine out a lot. When we do, we make it count. We're not real big on eating out unless it's for something that we want to enjoy, something different. I don't like to go to places that's just any old restaurant that are the same kind of things that I can make myself at home. So we do kind of make it count. We'll go out for a nice meal, either a nice lunch down by the sea, which is about an hour from us, or a special type of restaurant where we can have a really full meal and just enjoy it real leisurely, or we might meet some friends out. So pricing to eat out, it depends again on what type of place you want to go. You can go to a trattoria and have a plate of spaghetti and a glass of wine for $10. That's sort of your average price if you're just going to have a plate of normal pasta, locally made stuff, and a glass of local wine for about $10. One place we really like to go on the seaside, they offer obviously fish, generally costs a little bit more, but this one particular restaurant down at Vietri sul Mare, which is at the sort of very end of the Amalfi Coast, there's a restaurant we really like to go there. A plate of pasta with some kind of fish or seafood usually costs about €10, or they have this really great thing I like to order. It's called a parmigiana. So it's sort of a take on eggplant parmesan, but within the layers they have locally cut anchovy, fresh anchovy, not the cured, really strong stuff that you might be used to, and then a smoked provolone cheese. It's just amazing. So this dish, I always order when I go there. I'm kind of addicted to that one particular dish. I do that as my primo, my first course, rather than a pasta on a frequent basis. And then my husband and I might split secondo, so your main dish, whatever kind of fish they're offering that day. It might be tuna, it might be a swordfish or whatever. As your main course, we'll often split that, and it usually comes to about €15. And then we get a bottle of wine to split rather than just a house wine. We do like to get, again, we make it a more of a splurge occasion when we do go out. So a local Fiano wine might be €12 a bottle. So generally, if we go out to eat at this restaurant, it's an outdoor patio. We enjoy the sunshine. We enjoy the sound of the ocean, or the Mediterranean. And we might spend $45 to $50 for lunch there. So it's still, I think, affordable compared to a lot of meals that I was having last summer when I was in the United States. And it's really quality. They're a slow food restaurant, so he sources local ingredients and really quality things, and it's well prepared. So we do tend to make it count. Another place that we like is an agriturismo, so it's a farm restaurant here in our area. You pay €23 per person for the full Monty meal, from 9 plates of antipasto to your pasta, your main course, vegetables, dessert, wine that's unlimited, flowing wine and water, coffee at the end, their homemade liqueurs to finish it off with, and it's 23 euros, so that's about $26 for this full-on meal. And you have to go at lunch because otherwise you're just too full. If you try to eat dinner there, you're rolling out and you can't sleep that night because you just had so much food. So I think there's really great deals. You can go to a lot of restaurants anywhere in Italy and get that fixed price menu, whatever they're offering that particular day, between $12 and $17 for a fixed price, and it usually includes a glass of wine and your coffee at the end as well. Pizza, we go out for a pizza and a beer, we pay maybe $10. So really all of that kind of thing is very affordable. Let's talk about the healthcare prices because that's a huge thing. Healthcare here is so much more affordable than you could possibly imagine compared to what we were paying in the United States. So the national healthcare system is very good. It's obviously widespread. It covers the entire country and it's very affordable. So we pay 388 euro for the year to be enrolled in the national healthcare system. So we're talking about $410, and that covers us for the year. We pay, that covers medical visits to our local doctor. It covers emergency care. It covers hospitalizations. It covers surgeries for the most part. It covers the majority of things. There's then certain procedures or tests that you pay what's called a ticket. It's sort of like a copay, and that is 36 euro. So let's say $40 for these not extra things, but what's not covered on the healthcare. So for example, MRI would be 36 euro under this plan. Any other kind of specialized testing, the ticket is 36 euro. It's just amazing how inexpensive the subsidized system is. The prescription drugs are also subsidized. So if you need heart medication or diabetes medication or those kind of things, generally you're going to pay probably 2 to 3 euro for your prescription for those kind of things. Even if you're going to supplement with private health insurance, if you want to be able to go to private doctors or private medical facilities for certain procedures or certain tests or certain specialist visits, you can buy private health insurance to cover those things, and it runs between 1,300 to 2,000 euro per year. So that's about $1,400 to $2,100 more or less with the current exchange rate, to have this extra private insurance so that you could go to private specialists or the private hospitals and have certain things done or specialist visits completed off of the main public health plan. Some people do have kind of both, so that they have the option if they want to go to a certain cardiologist that doesn't participate in the health system, or they want to be able to go to certain private facilities for testing. It's still extremely affordable on an annual basis to have that kind of supplemental insurance as well. So I think that everything here in Italy, for the most part, is more affordable than what we're used to. When we have leisure time things, it's also very affordable. Festivals are free. You only pay for the things you're going to consume. You can get a plate of pasta at one of these local festivals for 3 or 4 euro. It's extremely inexpensive. You can get a glass of wine at these festivals for like 50 cents. It's kind of crazy just how affordable these things are. If you're going to go even to cultural events, so the most popular museums here in Italy are still, I think, really great bargains. If you go to the Villa Borghese in Rome, it's 15 euro per person to enter. And the world's most renowned masterpieces are on display there. The same thing for the Uffizi Gallery in Florence. It's 20 euro, so you're paying $23 to see some of the world's most renowned art. I think it's a screaming bargain in the long run, that these little outings, when you do go to the cities, really are very affordable, and you get to see some of the world's most influential artists at work and sculptors. You can go to an opera for between 20 to 25 euro at the lower cost thing. So like the Baths of Caracalla in Rome, it's an amazing venue in the summer to sit on the lawn or have one of the chairs there at the opera in the Baths of Caracalla. And you can pay from 25 euro up to 100 euro, depending on what type of seat you want to have, surrounded in this gorgeous historical setting. You can go to the San Carlo Opera House in Naples, which is the oldest in Europe, and it's a gorgeous, gorgeous, opulent place. It's a really special experience to go to a show in a theater like that. And prices there start at like 30 euro. Many towns, provincial capitals throughout Italy have these really beautiful theaters, and you can go to a concert or an opera or a show there starting from 20 euro. So you can pay $23 for a ticket to go to a show in a gorgeous setting. And I think it's just a special thing to be able to do those kind of events. Exploring is basically free. You get in your car, you need to pay for a tank of gas, which granted gas here is more expensive. But going through these hill towns and such, I think it's just a great way to spend a day, to just be out exploring and see what's in your neighborhood and what's around your region where you have chosen to live. And just every town offers something, and there's just beauty no matter where you go here in Italy. And I think it's just very inexpensive to do that kind of exploring, even if you're going to stop for lunch, or you can stop at the market in the local town, the local market there, and buy ingredients for a picnic. And what could be more beautiful than just driving out into the countryside and sitting underneath an olive tree and enjoying your picnic. I just there's so much here in Italy, and really what I want to impress on so many people that love Italy and think they can't afford to live here, I just want you to know you really actually can afford to live here. So I hope that this has been helpful. I hope that this has been informative to get you thinking about the affordability of living in Europe and living in Italy in particular. If you have questions, shoot me an email. I'm here to answer your questions.